A dragon caught on film during the SpaceX Falcon 9 launch on May 10th. Yes, you heard me right. A SpaceX camera caught a dragon during launch on May 10th. This was brought to my attention by a follower, sent me a message on Twitter. It took me a second to find the footage in the actual SpaceX film of the launch, but sure enough, it's there. And y'all, this dragon is insane. I know many find it hard to believe, but dragons do exist. They're highly intelligent, and they can fly way up into the atmosphere. And I really don't understand why people find it so hard to believe, because dragons date back to biblical times. In fact, dragons are mentioned in the Bible up to 31 times. A lot of it has been stricken from the Bible, but older texts that haven't been fabricated actually have awesome stories that pertain to dragons. One of the most renowned stories worldwide, but mostly concentrated in Europe, is that of St. George, the Dragon Slayer. I honestly couldn't believe I hadn't heard of this story up to this point because it's so popular. He's known as the patron saint of England. And believe it or not, he was actually a real person, a Christian who fought in the name of Christianity. Depending on the country, there are different variations of the story, but generally, they're all the same. In the account Legenda Aurea, St. George is said to have passed by a city called Selene, which is a province of Libya. Beside the city was a pond, and in this pond lived a dragon, which envenomed all the country. It poisoned the people, so the people of the city decided to feed the beast with 2 sheep each day so that it would not continue to harm them. When the dragon's appetite was not satisfied, the people of the city began sacrificing human beings to it. The actual verse in the book states, "Then was an ordinance made in the town that there should be taken the children and young people of them, of the town by lot, and every each one as it fell, were he gentle or poor, should be delivered when the lot fell on him or her." Now when they say lot, they actually mean lottery. So the town would put all the children's name into a basket and then draw to see who was to be sacrificed to the dragon. And this was regardless of stature, whether you were rich, poor, a laborer, or a king. You were not exempt from this lottery. And then one day, the lot fell on the king's daughter, who was prepared to be offered to the dragon. It was during this time that St. George passed by the city and saw the princess. When he inquired as to what was going on, St. George was told about the dragon. And it was at that moment he decided to slay the beast. The battle with the dragon, as described by Dvorak, is as follows. Thus, as they spake together, the dragon appeared and came running to them. And St. George was upon his horse, and drew out his sword, and garnished him with the sign of the cross, and rode heartily against the dragon, and he smote him with his spear, and hurt him sore, and threw him to the ground. And after said to the maid, "Deliver me your girdle, and bind it about the neck of the dragon, and be not afeared." When she had done so, the dragon followed her, as it had been a meek beast and debonair. So the dragon emerged from the pond while they were conversating. St. George made the sign of the cross and charged it on horseback, seriously wounding it with his lance. He then called to the princess to throw him her girdle, and he put it around the dragon's neck. Wherever she walked, the dragon followed the girl like a meek beast on a leash. The princess and St. George led the dragon back to the city of Selene, where it terrified the people. St. George offered to kill the dragon if they consented to become Christians and be baptized. 15,000 men, including the king of Selene, converted to Christianity on the spot. George then killed the dragon, beheading it with his sword, and the body was carted out of the city on 4 ox carts. The king built a church to the Blessed Virgin Mary and St. George on the site where the dragon died, and a spring flowed from its altar with water that cured all disease. This is the story that made St. George a hero, and the Knights Templar even rode in his name. Crazy stuff, right? It took 4 ox carts to tote the dragon out of the city, and it was poisoning the well, basically, at the city of Selene. Now, it's possible that it was a real account of a dragon. Stories like this, and even stories of Alexander the Great encountering dragons, are what cement it in history as possible reality, not folklore. I just thought I'd give a little context, a little history, backing the idea that they could possibly still exist. But check out this footage, y'all, and let me know what you think in the comments. This stuff is awesome. So you'll see I do multiple clips, then I zoom in, then I slow down. Check it out. Did you notice how fast it dove and how high up into the atmosphere it was? These creatures are absolutely amazing. I don't know what it is about them, but they are absolutely fantastic. It dove faster than I've ever seen anything fly. It was unbelievable. And we were just lucky enough to actually capture the footage. I'm surprised they didn't edit it out of the actual original SpaceX footage, but they didn't. So there you have it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Why would it be fake? Who would add that in there? It doesn't make sense. Stay in love, stay in the light, be kind to others. I am out.